Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter she needs to start dressing appropriately? I, 35 female, my daughter is 14. Her father passed away when she was 2, and I remained single up until 2 years ago when I started dating Matt. He is 46 and has a 19-year-old son, Chris. They moved in with us 2 months ago. Chris is in college full-time and stays at my place because it's super close to campus. Wicked good kid, super respectful, and the issue, my daughter very obviously has a crush on him. Since Matt and Chris moved in, my daughter started dressing really inappropriately at home. I'm not talking about revealing clothing. I couldn't care less if she wore short shorts or whatever around the house. It's a lack of clothing that is the issue. She never did this prior to them moving in, but now whenever Chris is home, she will come out in literally nothing but her bra and her underwear. At 14? And he's, what, 19? She wears girls' boxers, so it's not a super big deal, but it's absolutely become a problem. The boys don't even pay attention to her, but I see what she's doing, and it bothers me because she literally only does it when she knows Chris is at home. Like this morning, Chris had late classes and it's her school vacation. She came out in her normal PJs originally, saw Chris sitting at the table on his laptop. She announces she's taking a shower. She comes out 30 minutes later in her bra and underwear with a flannel unbuttoned over it and says, "Hey Chris, what are you doing?" and sits down beside him. I immediately told her to come talk to me in my bedroom, and it was at this point that I told her that from this point forward, she wasn't allowed to leave her bedroom unless she was properly dressed. She asked, why do I even have to put clothes on when this is my home and I should be able to be comfortable? So I was blunt and said, because only time you seem to give a damn about your so-called comfort clothing is when Chris is here. Go put some clothes on. She stormed after her room and slammed the door and didn't come out again. Now I have literally spoke to her about this at least 4 other times because it just keeps getting worse and she keeps putting on less and less clothing. I've asked her straight up if she had a crush on Chris, and her face goes beet red while saying, "Ew, gross, no." But it's obvious either way. I'm not blind. I also made a point to tell her she needs to think about how much trouble she could get older guys into by making the advances she is. But of course, she gets angry that I'm accusing her of being a HO. I never said that. I think she's a normal hormonal teenager trying to get guys' attention. Either way, she's pissed, and she texted my mother, who's now calling me and saying I'm wrong for making my daughter feel like her comfort doesn't matter over a guy and his son, who aren't family. Am I the a-hole? I think OP should approach that from the side of, oh, you're a 14-year-old girl. I know you're hormonal, and I know, like, because, you know, when you're young, like, you don't care if it's your hot teacher. You don't care if it's your hot neighbor. It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to try to get someone's attention. But she should have told her daughter, like, you're a 14-year-old girl. You're literally a minor. You don't need to be doing all of that. She tried to get some grown man's attention. If Chris isn't a perv, there are grown men who are pervs. And this just can end up wrong. So I feel like she just needed to calm down a little bit instead of coming from, oh, that she could get some grown men in trouble, because at the end of the day, nothing can get, a 14-year-old girl can never get a grown man in trouble unless he's a goddamn perv himself. So she should have just said, oh, you're a minor, you don't need to be doing all of this, X, Y, and Z. But say, oh, you're gonna get a grown man in trouble. Why would a grown man try to get at a 14-year-old girl no matter what she's doing to her, no matter what she does to get his attention? But yeah, what do you guys think? Am I the a-hole for not going to my brother's child-free wedding because my son wasn't invited and his cousins were? Recently, my family were invited to my brother's wedding. Me, my husband, our daughter 21, and our son 18. Everyone except our younger son 16 because it's a child-free wedding. I called my brother to confirm that my son wasn't invited because I have been to child-free wedding before that are 13 plus or 16 plus, and my son won't behave badly or need such close supervision as a younger child would. My brother was very apologetic and said that he can make exceptions to his rule, and some of his friends have much younger kids, and he doesn't want to look like he is showing favoritism by allowing my 6-year-old to come. That was fine by me. I understand child-free weddings. I had a child-free wedding prior to having kids. My brother has 2 children of his own from a previous marriage, 16 and 17. And 2 of my sister's kids are also under 18, 13 and 15. And I assume none of them would be invited either. The wedding is in a different country, and my family will be flying out for the weekend. My 16-year-old is a bit sad about not being invited because him and my brother are close. I also don't want to leave him home alone for the weekend, so I have made a plan that on that night of the wedding, him and his cousins could hang out in the hotel, use the pool, get room service, and make it a night out of it. Then the next day we could explore the city as a family, so my son doesn't feel sad about being left out. When I told my brother the plan, he thought it was a great idea. But when I told my sister, she was surprised and said her kids have been invited and that she didn't know it was a child-free 18 plus. She had checked with my brother, who told her it was a 13 plus, so my niece was invited. So we both called my brother, who admitted that my son is the only under 18 in the immediate family who has not been invited, though he wouldn't say why despite me pushing him. My sister and I have both decided to not attend as we are both pissed off at him, and she loves my 16-year-old. My mother is calling us both up saying we are being childish and letting my brother down. My brother's soon-to-be wife is also furious at us and says that my brother is distraught and that my son was excluded for a good reason, once again not saying the reason. My brother-in-law, sister's husband, is also upset and blaming me for my sister not going, and I'm starting to feel bad and wish I had just let sleeping dogs lie. But am I the a-hole? First of all, before we get into the stories, I've never heard anybody say let sleeping dogs lie. What does that mean? Like let it go? That's interesting. You literally learn something new every day. And if my brother invited everybody and their mom to a wedding and he didn't invite my child and didn't give me a reason for it, I'm not going to his no damn wedding of his. So yeah.